is where it all begins. The leap of faith, the first step to the journey towards the unknown, the challenging, the daunting. But when we're together, hand in hand, the journey becomes exciting. We're partners, you and I, together, facing your fears, pursuing your passion, breaking boundaries, building your future, overcoming challenges, celebrating every achievement. When we're together, we're unstoppable. When we're together, anything is possible. At BTN, we know the power of partnership. A good partner works with you intimately. A good partner knows what you need. A good partner always has your back. The partner for starting your dream family, building your dream home, realizing the dream. It takes courage to begin, but it takes encouragement to keep on going. So go on, dream big. We're with you every step of the way. You have a partner in BTN.
CLS Knight membawa Indonesia jadi juara ABL. I believe, we believe.
CLS juara, I believe you, we believe. Wani.
CLS bawa Indonesia jadi juara ABL. Wow, I believe, we believe.
CLS Knights Indonesia juara ABL. Believe and Wani pokoknya, ya tak?
CLS juara, Amin percaya banget. We believe.
CLS bawa Indonesia jadi juara ABL. I believe, we believe.
CLS Knight akan membawa Indonesia jadi juara ABL. I believe, we believe. Go CLS Knight.
What's up, di sini Psycho G. CLS bawa Indonesia juara ABL. I believe, we believe.
CLS Knights Indonesia juara ABL. I believe, you believe, you all believe. Untuk Indonesia, Wani.
Area Surabaya, CLS Knights Indonesia juara ABL. Yopo, believe, Wani.
CLS Net bawa Indonesia juara ABL. I believe, we believe, Wani.
CLS Knights jadi juara ABL. I believe, we believe, Wani.
CLS jadi juara ABL. I believe, we believe.
Knight Indonesia juara ABL, believe and Wani.
CLS Knights bawa Indonesia juara Asian Basketball League. I believe, we believe. Wani.
CLS bawa Indonesia juara ABL, I believe, we believe.
CLS Knight akan membawa Indonesia menjadi juara ABL. That's gonna happen. We believe, I believe, everybody believe. We are the champion.
CLS bawa Indonesia juara ABL. I believe, we believe. Surabaya, Wani.
Akankah CLS bawa Indonesia juara ABL? I believe, we believe. Wani.
CLS bawa Indonesia juara IBL. I believe. Bagaimana dengan tim DJFM Surabaya? We believe, we believe, we believe. BTN CLS Indonesia champion.
Hadapi warga Surabaya dengan penuh senyum kemenangan, bukan pecundang.
We believe.
beautiful Saturday evening inside the palace. We are here in Gor Kertajaya in Surabaya, Indonesia. And these two teams facing different scenarios tonight. The visiting squad, the Singapore Slingers, are looking for their first championship. They're looking to break the curse here on the road. CLS Knights, on the other hand, one of the best home teams in the league, looking to once again defend the palace, their backs against the wall, and stay alive here in the season. We welcome you to game number 4 of the finals. This is your CN Basketball League, season number 9, Rise to Greatness. My name is Martin Javier, working alongside Marco Benitez, helping me break this game down rather for tonight's game. Marco B, an electric game coming up here in game number 4.
That is right, Martin. The Singapore Slingers, as you mentioned, the only remaining founding member that has yet to win a championship tonight. They look to do it in style. They look to do it in enemy territory as they look to beat the CLS Knights in back-to-back games en route to their first ever ABL championship.
Singapore Slingers coming off that game number 3 win, the only loss of the CLS Knights so far here in Gor Kertajaya in the ABL playoffs. Before that, they went 4-0 in our first round and in the semifinals.
That is correct. And during the regular season, only losing thrice in this venue, and I do not think that they have lost back-to-back games so far. As you take a look at the brackets and the road to the finals, you see here, Singapore Slingers 1 win away from their first ever ABL championship.
That's right, they are a step closer here, but they will
Number
have to do
1,
it
Lim Jun Yuan. Number 2, Desmond Oh. Number 5, John Phil. Number 6, Ding Lon Tai. Number 11, Hua Sen Larry Liu. Number 12, Geran Yang. Number 15, Xavier Alexander. Number 17, Han Bin Eng. Number 22, Hong Da Kelvin Lim. Number 23, Kok Chiang Kelvin Go. Number 32, Wen Chiang Russell Lo. And number 55, Levin Rats. With the coach, Neo Beng Siang, assistant coach, Michael Johnson. Nyalakan torchnya sekarang! There can be miracle when you believe. We believe. BTN CLS Indonesia. Jersey number 9, Sandi Febiansa. Wearing jersey number 10, Rahmat Febri Utomo. Jersey number 11, Arif Hidayat. Number 16, Firman Dwi Nugroho. Number 17, Katon Aji Baskoro. Number 24, center Muhammad Saroni. And number 27, Bima Rizky Ardiansa.
And here we are, the starting five BTN CLS Indonesia. Jersey number 5, the babyface assassin. Siapa namanya? Wong Wei Lo. We present to you the general. Siapa namanya? Yes, Douglas Harry. Don't worry, we have your hope. Please welcome Daryl Watkins. The Surabaya Sweetheart. Please welcome, katakan namanya, Brenda Suwado. MVP, MVP. Teriakan namanya, Maxi Esho. Bos Brian Rasam, Bos Ricky, Bos Gogo, BTN CLS Indonesia.
And for referee this game, Commissioner Ibnu Susilo from Indonesia, referee Shin Gi-rok from Korea, first umpire Swepong Wichai-pin from Thailand, and second umpire from Philippines, Reynante Huvana.
Silakan berdiri untuk lagu kebangsaan. Wait.
National anthem.
Please rise from your chairs. We're gonna sing the national anthem. Silakan bangkit berdiri. Kita akan nyanyikan bersama-sama lagu kebangsaan kita.
Hampir silakan sekali lagi untuk berdiri sejenak. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the national anthem. And this is our national anthem, Indonesia Raya.
This is the official photo shot for BTN CLS Indonesia.
We welcome you back to the coverage. This is game number 4 of the finals of your ASEAN Basketball League Rise to Greatness. This is season number 9. Both teams introduced already. Singapore Slingers, CLS Knights battling it out for the 4th time here in our final. And again, Singapore Slingers, a golden opportunity here on the road to take their very first championship here in the ABL.
For the last home game.
Long wait is over, but you know the CLS Knights, they have
Manajemen and staff
as we proceed to this photo opportunity here
seperti
at
yang
the
tahu semuanya adalah game home terakhir kita untuk season kali ini. Tidak lupa kita ucapkan terima kasih buat Surabaya.
And as we witness, Martin, still one of the most electrifying player introductions here in the ABL. Of course, the BTN CLS Knights do not want to let this very passionate crowd down as they want to defend home court, as you mentioned. And of course, in Game 5, that will be in Singapore, if ever on Wednesday, if the Knights are able to come away with a win even of the series.
This is the association from Perbasi.
First 2 games of this series were blowouts. Marco B, CLS winning game number 1, taking one in Singapore at the OCBC Arena, winning by 19. Singapore, though, coming right back, bouncing back big time and getting a 20-point win. Game number 3, though, it was a different story for both of these teams as they played their closest game so far here in our finals.
Very grind-out type of basketball game, as it was one of the lowest scoring games in the finals as well. The final score ended up 63-60 in favor of the Singapore Slingers. And if you talk about Singapore Slingers, I'm sure they do not want to have a Game 5, even though it is going to be in Singapore, because in a rubber match, anything can happen here, Martin. And they do not want to count on or to go up against a very explosive, very talented, and very deep BTN CLS Knights squad.
You don't want to give confidence to this team because this is a very dangerous team. They're very confident that they can win anywhere here in the ABL. So that is the situation right now here in our final series. Starting unit here for the Singapore Slingers. A big welcome here to the starting lineup for Jaron Yang, who has been spending time off the bench, or has been coming off the bench rather, for the Singapore Slingers in the past 2 games, of course nursing a hamstring injury. Of course, on the other hand, the CLS Knights going with their strongest starting unit tonight.
Take a look at the keys for the game for the Knights. Got to shoot in a high percentage, especially from the 3-ball. Number 1 3-point shooting team in terms of percentage at about 37%. They want to run the tempo faster. They have been outscored on the break by an average of 13 fast break points per game by the Singapore Slingers. Of course, they want to defend inside the post, as they have also been outscored inside the paint. And in terms of second chance points, and this guy, Daryl Watkins, has to step up. He has been outscored 16-5 in that last matchup against John Fields. And of course, Ang Han Bin, there is a guy that they want to stop, or they want to lock down, as he has been the X factor off the bench for the Singapore Slingers.
Maxi Esho, Xavier Alexander, 2 formidable MVP candidates. Of course, the X-Man winning his first MVP here in the league, as we see the referees here from the Philippines, Korea, and Thailand. The chief referee, of course, is Shin from Korea. All right. As we enter game number 4 here, that is Coach Neo Beng Xiang, longest tenured head coach here in the ASEAN Basketball League. This is their 3rd finals appearance in 4 years, looking to finally get the job done this year. And on the other hand, first-year head coach Brian Rousum, looking to make the biggest impact tonight in game number 4. This is going to be interesting, Marco B. And we are very interested to know what's going to be the story, what's going to be the theme for tonight's contest.
Well, Martin, for the Singapore Slingers, they want to make this as low a scoring contest as possible. CLS Knights average about 86 points per game in the regular season. They have been held to about 76 points per game here in the finals. In the 2 wins of Singapore, they have been held even lower to 58.5 points per game. So defense wins championships. That is the key phrase for the Singapore Slingers. Meanwhile, for the Knights, it's their outside shooting, that 3-ball, the team that set the historic ABL record for 22 triples in a game. They have to shoot it at a high percentage. They have to shoot it at a high clip. They average about 9 triples per game in the regular season. They average about 10 or 7, close to 8 triples per game here in the finals against the Singapore Slingers.
So it is lockdown defense versus lights out offense here in Gor Kertajaya. We welcome you to our coverage once again. We are inside the palace here in Surabaya, Indonesia, entering game number 4 of the finals. You guys are joined by Martin Javier, Marco Benitez, breaking this game down. Wong Wei Long on your screens, former member of the Singapore Slingers. And as you can see here, the loyal fans of the CLS Knights, very anxious, of course, their backs against the wall, but they're going to give their all-out support to their team as they have been doing all season long.
And it's a welcome sight for the Singapore Slingers fans as Jaron Young will be starting. As you mentioned, came off the bench the past couple of games, but he has been their X factor as well. Had 14 points or 16 points in their last game, 14 points in the second half when he played only the second half for the Singapore Slingers in game 2. But it looks like Coach Neo Beng Shang, contrary to what was shown in the graphics, will be starting with Jaron Young on the bench. So he will be using the same formula. Larry Liu will be the starter in place of Jaron Young, and that is the formula that has worked the past couple of games for Singapore, and that is the formula that he will run with here in game 4.
So here we go. Almost tip off here in your game number 4. It is Daryl Watkins versus John Fields, the defensive player of the year. First crack at the basket goes to the home squad, the CLS Knights. We welcome you to game number 4 once again in your ASEAN Basketball League Finals. And keys to the game here, Marco. This is going to be key. Defense for the Singapore Slingers. They get the steal right away.
Of course, protecting the paint as well as John Fields did in that possession. In game 1, the CLS Knights scored 50 points in the paint. In the past 2 games, they have been held to an average of just 24 points in the paint.
And a quick silencer given there by John Fields as he opens the scoring here with that mid-range jumper.
Well, Fields has shown that he can hit that jumper from about 15 feet consistently, as Larry Liu doing a good job shadowing Douglas Herring.
And that's going to be key for John Fields because CLS has been giving him that mid-range shot. Oh, Maxi Esho out of control there at midcourt, unable to handle the pass. 2 turnovers to start the game for the CLS Knights. Not a good sign here for the home squad.
Remember, in game 2, CLS Knights ended with 20 turnovers in that game. They're averaging about 12.1 turnovers here in the finals, while the Singapore Slingers averaging about 14 turnover points per game.
And this is how the Singapore Slingers create cushion through the turnovers they force on the defensive end, creating opportunities on the offensive end.
Especially those live ball turnovers resulting in transition baskets. That's the reason why they're averaging about 20.7 fast break points per contest as well here in the finals.
They have been transferred to a running team this season as Desmond O knocks in the triple.
That's going to be a big boost there for Coach Neo Beng Shang. That local support has been crucial for them.
They've been alternating the production. Desmond O, Larry Liu, and Ang Han Bin. All have been keys for Singapore in the past few games. Watkins backing down, and he misses badly in point-blank range.
But Martin, despite the miss, that's a nice score there for Daryl Watkins. Really found the ball inside the paint. Forced John Fields to play defense and possibly pick up a couple of fouls.
And Joaro trying to go coast to coast, but he did get a big steal on the other end. Yet another turnover here by CLS. The X-Man on the move. Bounce pass to Larry Liu. Corner triple is good.
From the same spot. That's going to be an 8-0 start here once again for the Singapore Slingers.
Flaming hot start here by the visiting squad. 2 triples and 1 mid-range jumper. Timeout, CLS Knights. Back to live action here in your ASEAN Basketball League Finals. And the CLS Knights getting a lot of turnovers that were converted to buckets by the Singapore Slingers in the early goings of this game.
And if you're Coach Brian Rossum, definitely not the start you want in a game where you have your backs against the wall. That's 2 turnovers, 3 turnovers already to start the first quarter. And we're barely 2 minutes in.
All right, 20 turnovers in game number 2, and that's a foul here. The first one called against the Singapore Slingers. Delvin Go will be called for his first.
Referee's calling it a bit tight there. Delvin Go matchup against Maxi Escher. Free throws also going to be the key here. Knights shot just 47% from the line in game 3.
That is 6 out of 13 to be exact for the Knights as Jawado creates space underneath. The kick out to Wong Wei Long for 3, no go.
And he has been the missing piece here for the CLS Knights. Wong Wei Long averaging about 10 points per game. In the last 2 games, he's only averaging 4 points per contest.
Xavier Alexander, hounded by Maxi Escher, goes to Desmono here. Desmono runs into traffic, goes around. Larry Liu, the kick out. 6 seconds on the clock for the Slingers. Alexander goes to Delvin for the mid-range jumper from the baseline. It doesn't work.
Good defense there from the Knights. Good box out as well from Doug Herring.
Doug Herring behind the back, dishing it to Watkins, who scores on the reverse.
That was something missing in game 3. Those penetrations coming from Doug Herring, feeding his big man, Daryl Watkins.
And finally, the CLS Knights get on the board here, but quickly answered by the X-Man, the MVP, Xavier Alexander.
That big-to-big ball screen is a problem, or handoff is a problem for the CLS Knights, leaving Xavier Alexander wide open, and his much-improved jumper is pure.
Doug Herring missed a lot of those in the last game, but on the second effort, Daryl Watkins is able to score. That is a foul and the finish for Watkins.
And if he can make this free throw, he will already equal his game 3 output. So good ploy here, or good strategy by the Knights to deliberately feed the ball into their big man, into their Hulk. They're going to need him to really produce and be aggressive.
After that 23-12 game in the opening game of this series, he has been stopped and only has totaled 13 points in the last 2 games, 8 points in game number 2 and 5 points in game 3.
He has been outplayed by John Fields the past couple of games. John Fields coming out a lot more aggressive, not only offensively but also on the rebounding end.
Watkins couldn't complete the 3-point play, so our score will stay at 4-10. John Fields looking for the high-low here. Delvin with space, couldn't make it though. Delvin hustling for it, but Esho will recover.
Everything but the shot there for Delvin. Go, nice entry pass there from John Fields. Jawato uncontested to the hoop.
Look at the acceleration right there by Brandon Jawado. Able to lay it up and in, and we have a foul here this time. The first one called against the CLS Knights.
This can be potentially a matchup that will be crucial here because Jawado has the foot speed advantage against Delvin Go, but Delvin Go has the size and the heft advantage. That's why Singapore is looking to pound the ball inside to Delvin Go.
Alexander Esho. Esho's been guarding the X-Man here in the first quarter. Alexander inbounds it to Fields. Fields. Back out to Alexander, and Singapore will be patient on their offense in this sequence. They go inside. Fields with space. Fields couldn't put it in, and he is called for the travel.
Stop there coming from the Knights. Good help side defense as well for Daryl Watkins. So far marking 8 of the 10 points of the Slingers coming off of CLS turnovers.
But the CLS Knights have responded very well here, only down by 4 as Wong Wei Long passes it outside. Brandon Jawado handling the rock. Jawado, oh, good bounce. Watkins with a finish.
And again, that one created by the penetration and the nice dish from Jawado. Hey, deliberately finding their big man, Daryl Watkins, inside.
And a missed opportunity right there for John Fields. Here comes CLS looking to tie it again. Herring is fouled by Larry Liu. He will go to the line for 2 shots.
Something we did not see a lot of in game 3. Doug Herring putting up or applying pressure on the defense to get back in transition. That time with a crossover, trying to finish with the right.
And it looks like that was the game plan of the timeout by the CLS Knights. Put pressure on the defense, attack relentlessly the Singapore defense. Doug Herring making the first free throw. Tallying only 12 points in game number 3. Had a tough shooting night, going 4 out of 13. Looking to tie it up here for the first time. And he does just that. That free throw 2 for 2 as we approach the halfway point of the first quarter.
And importantly as well, they have gotten the crowd back into this game.
Chance of defense here, but Delvin breaks away.
That's another possession where they have attacked the defense of Jawado inside the paint.
That is a nice move by Delvin Go. CLS couldn't counter. Here comes Singapore, back the other way. But CLS quickly setting up on the defensive end. Nope. He leave Desmono open. Got lucky there that he missed the shot. And we have an open guy on the other end. Herring takes advantage.
Doug Herring caught cherry picking there. Did not get back down on defense. Lucky for them, Desmono missed the triple. And Daryl Watkins with a quick outlet pass.
John Fields forced out by Watkins. But what a big boy drive right there by John Fields. Blowing by Watkins for the deuce.
And one thing very different about the Knights this game is off the miss or the make, they are pushing the ball in transition. Jawado that time not even waiting for his point guard, just bringing the ball up the floor, join the foul against Desmono.
And that's part of our keys to the game here. If you're CLS, you want to run, and get as much offense as you can against the Slingers. Because it's very hard to play Singapore on the half-court set, and that is Watkins attacking and drawing the foul in the process.
And if Singapore is going to pound the ball into Delvin Go, the Knights are going to pound the ball into Daryl Watkins. And he's going to pick up the foul from John Fields. And you know, Martin, I think one-on-one, Daryl Watkins has the slight advantage against John Fields.
Or he definitely has the strength advantage. As to take a look at the previous play there, but Watkins starting out very aggressive here in the ball game. And he had a lot of misses in point-blank range in game number 3. So far to begin this one, he's been making all of them.
That was one of the reasons why he was so frustrated in game 3. But you know, for me, the big difference right now, Martin, is that the Knights, as we talked about in the keys to the game, they have been pushing the tempo. 6 fast break points already compared to 0 for the Slingers.
Here comes Larry Liu, goes baseline, almost losing it. Lost it there. 2-on-2 break here. CLS Knights, they don't have the numbers. They will wait. Wong Wei Long driving. Wong Wei Long flips it up, couldn't make it. Ball tapped out. Desmono saves it inside, but it's going to be CLS basketball.
I love the effort there from Desmono, but just not enough room to save that basketball.
3 minutes, 40 seconds remaining, and this is Sandy Cornyawan checking in the ball game for CLS.
One of the guys who was very crucial in game 1 came off the bench. Really played well for them, but he has not played exceptionally well in the past couple of games. They're going to need his shooting. They're going to need his offensive production.
That teardrop doesn't work for Sandy Cornyawan, and he commits the personal foul right after. So shooter for shooter substitution here by both coaches. Ang Han Bin has been inserted by Coach Neo Beng Shang on the side of the Singapore Slingers.
And in terms of bench production, Ang Han Bin has really outplayed Sandy Cornyawan off the bench. Just 6 points for Cornyawan off the bench in their last game, while Ang Han Bin is averaging about close to 8 points per contest.
Yes, well, timely baskets for the Singapore Slingers, but CLS is able to force another turnover on Singapore. That's a bump. And a foul called against Xavier Alexander. Maxi Esho on the drive.
Good decision there on the part of Maxi Esho. He has the length to be more, to have the advantage against Xavier Alexander inside the paint. And you know, one thing about Esho in the past couple of games, we've seen him settle for a couple of outside shots. Once Alexander has been able to close the door on that penetration, he has to continue to be aggressive, continue to attack the paint, and hopefully draw a couple of fouls early here from the X-Man.
And it looks like that's been the game plan here for the CLS Knights. They've been setting less on those outside shots. Remember, in game number 1, they controlled the paint. Talking about the CLS Knights outscoring Singapore in that game in the painted area 50-28. So they're looking to do the same here, looking to use that to their advantage as Maxi Esho misses the first free throw.
Well, right now, Martin, it's a 10-4 advantage in terms of points in the paint, and you credit that especially to the aggressiveness of the Knights going to the hoop.
Approaching 3 minutes remaining in our first quarter here. Singapore has possession. Larry Liu. They go to Ang Han Bin, who is hounded by Sandy Cornyawan. Here's the X-Man up against Maxi Esho. Alexander has been a non-factor so far. Not anymore, though, as he scores on the drive.
Somebody's got to protect the baseline. Alexander just blowing by his defender, finishing at the rim.
Alexander gliding and scoring there. Here comes Watkins. The kick out. Jawaro passed up on the feed. They keep the ball moving. Esho on the attack. Flips it up and in.
Again, once again, good decision on the part of Maxi Esho. Did not settle for the jump shot. Instead, attack the rim.
And Singapore Slingers have been sloppy at the latter half of the first quarter. CLS with yet another steal. Here is Doug Herring up against Delvin Go. He has the quickness advantage. Let's see if he will break this down. Herring stops, sends it out. That's a save by Jawado. 3 seconds to shoot for CLS. Here's Watkins. Oh! High off the glass and in to beat the buzzer for Daryl Watkins. But nope, they're not going to count that. They call the shot clock violation.
Looks like he had the ball still in his hand as the shot clock expired. Jaron Young is going to make his way a little bit late here in the first quarter. Played 34 minutes in game 3. And Coach Neo Beng Shang sending him into the fray. They're going to need his outside scoring. They're going to need his athleticism and his ability to finish on the break.
Ooh, that is a hand check called against the CLS Knights.
That's going to be against Arif Hidayat. Not getting the penalty are the Knights.
Backup guard off the bench here for CLS. Arif Hidayat called for his first. And it's 17-16 in favor of the CLS Knights. A minute and 40 remaining in our first quarter. Here's Jaron Young. They send it out. Anghan then moves closer, takes the shot off to the right. And that is last touch. They're saying it's last touch on John Field, so CLS will have possession.
Very similar to the way we finished the first quarter in game 3. It was a 17-16 advantage. Also in favor of the Knights. They have about a minute and a half to improve on this output.
Lots of similarities in game number 3 here. Oh, that's a hard bump.
That's going to be an illegal screen set there by Daryl Watkins as he was moving. Sometimes as a ball handler, you're going to have to wait until your screener is set. Otherwise, he's going to be called for an offensive foul.
So CLS commits the turnover. Singapore will have another crack at the basket here. Again, had a great start to this game. 10-2 was the advantage earlier, but it has been a 15-6 run by CLS from that point.
Lackadaisical pass there on the part of Desmond. One thing that Watkins has done well as he has pushed John Fields outside of the painted area.
Here is Desmond. John Fields, you're right. He's forced to take the mid-range J, and that is too strong. That's a shot they're going to be giving him all night. Foul against Anghan Bin on the rebound against Watkins.
And that's going to send Daryl Watkins to the free throw line. First personal foul on Anghan Bin, but Singapore Slingers already with 16 fouls. Daryl Watkins has so far been the leading scorer of the Knights with 8 points here in the first quarter.
Look at the towering rebound right there by Watkins. Again, this is a mid-season acquisition for the CLS Knights. But Watkins has provided the stability and the inside presence for the Knights. Big reason why they are in the finals here in the 9th season. And he is also a very good free throw shooter as he goes 2 for 2 on that trip. 19-16 is the count.
In the season, Daryl Watkins averaged about 14 points, close to 15 points per game in their 6 games already, if I'm not mistaken, against the Singapore Slingers. He's averaging about 15 points per game. So he is already approaching that figure, or that number, and we're only in the first quarter.
Jaron Young on the pull-up jumper, knocks it down.
Now they're going to have to play better defense on that ball screen for Jaron Young, as he has proven that he can knock down those jumpers.
So it is Nugroho subbing in for Daryl Watkins for CLS. Players caught ball watching there, but Singapore Slingers will have it. It's a shovel pass to Delvin Go, a long one, and Go could not handle it.
Slingers were going for the 2 for 1. As a basket there by Delvin Go would have left them about 5 or 6 seconds on the shot clock to end the quarter. But right now, Knights probably try to milk the clock.
They go back to Doug Herring here. Doug Herring, 7 assists. In game number 3, he is up against Jaren Young. A good matchup here in this ball game. Young, of course, one of the top defensive players in the league. Herring using the Nugroho screen. Herring attacks, got tripped. And we have a foul here against the veteran Desmono.
That's a clear foul there on the part of Desmono. Was late on the help. He's going to be called for an unsportsmanlike foul. That's a big call there. That's going to be 2 free throws plus ball possession.
Here's the move by Doug Herring. Got tripped. That was quad to quad. Desmono and Doug Herring colliding right there, and will be called rather, for the unsportsmanlike foul.
I feel that's a good call there on the part of the referee, as there was no attempt to draw the charge. Instead, it was sort of a hip check on the part of Desmono. And that's going to sting. Doug Herring makes the first free throw.
So instead of having a 2-for-1 situation for the Singapore Slingers, now the CLS Knights will have 2 free throws plus possession with 10.3 seconds remaining.
Possible momentum shifter as they head into the second quarter.
So 10 seconds remaining in the first here. CLS will have it. Shot clock is dead. And Doug Herring here up against Jaren Young. 21-18, that is the score on your screens. Oh, but CLS almost throwing it away. What a save right there by Escho. But that prevents the CLS Knights from getting a shot off. Marco B.
Wasted possession there on the part of the Knights. That's going to be turnover number 6 for the home squad. Shooting themselves on the foot. They could have possibly gone up by 5 or even 6 points to end the first quarter.
Here's Jaren Young. We'll wait it out, and that is the end of the first 10 minutes of play. This is game number 4. The CLS Knights getting the upper hand after our first chapter. We'll be right back for the second frame. You guys are still watching the ASEAN Basketball League Season number 9 Finals. Rise to greatness.
Kenalin, Velas, sahabatmu dalam setiap transaksi falas. Traveling kini tak perlu repot tukar uang ke money changer. Uang saku kuliah kamu di luar negeri tak lagi terpotong ini itu. Kamu bisa mulai tabungan kamu tanpa khawatir kurs naik turun. Dan dengan kurs kompetitif, bisnis kamu akan selalu mendapat nilai tukar terbaik. Nikmati dunia tanpa batas bersama Velas.
Lapar, makan mie jangan mikir. Nih, piknik, tak bikin dulu.
Fit me, makan mie, jangan mikir.
Ketika keadaan tak sesuai harapan. Stop! Jangan banyak drama. Kenalin, Velas, sahabatmu dalam setiap transaksi falas. Uang saku kuliah kamu di luar negeri tak lagi terpotong ini itu. Nikmati dunia tanpa batas bersama Velas. Tanpa provisi, tanpa drama.
Back to live action inside Gor Kertajaya in Surabaya, Indonesia. ABL Finals ongoing right now. We are entering the second quarter of this game. It is a 3-point lead for the home team, the CLS Knights. Our score is 21-18. Marco Navier, Marco Benitez breaking this game down. And Marco B, how were the CLS Knights able to recover in the first quarter after a slow start? And how were they able to take the lead at the end of the first frame?
Well, Martin, two of the things we talked about at the start of the game, points in the paint and fast break points, or controlling the tempo Knights outscored Singapore Slingers 12-6 in terms of points in the paint. They also outran the Slingers 6-0 in terms of fast break points. So they were the aggressor. They took the ball into the paint and they tried to push the pace and got out and scored in transition.
Oh, that is a big triple to tie things up here by Larry Liu. They call it a long two though, so it is 21-20. 1 point lead by CLS.
And that is one area where the Singapore Slingers have been able to get the upper hand. 2 triples already for the Slingers. No triples yet in the game for the home squad.
There's Maxi Esho almost losing it again. Hidayat drives, goes to Negroho on the short runner there, no go.
Not really the shot that you'd want Negroho to be taken at one-handed runner on the baseline.
And John Fields drops in the jumper. That's his second mid-range J tonight.
That's 4 straight points right now for the Slingers to grab the lead back.
So a 4-0 start. 2 quick baskets for the Singapore Slingers to begin the second frame here. Quickly recovering in this contest as Arif Hidayat surveys the floor. He's got the switch. He's got John Fields on him. Oh, good pick by Hidayat as he scores underneath.
What a play there by Hidayat coming off the bench over the towering John Fields.
Alexander. He's got the smaller Hidayat on him. No longer though. They go to Jaron Young. High-low play. John Fields hounded, but able to muscle his way underneath for that foul.
That's nice playing a little zone there with Daryl Watkins on the bench. That's going to be a foul against Nugroho. And that's going to send Daryl Watkins back. So that's about 1 minute and 40 seconds of rest for Daryl Watkins. So Coach Brian Rossum really pacing his star center. As John Fields has pretty much played the entire game.
That's right. John Fields has tallied double-doubles in all of the 3 games so far. 16 and 14 in game 3. Missing on the second though.
Here, 1-2-2. Half-court pressure from the red shirts.
Esho for 3. It's his first attempt from the outside. It will not drop.
Knights cannot buy a basket from downtown.
There's the kick out. Larry Liu. Tawato with great recovery right there. Jaron Young. They go to John Fields, who is looking for Alexander. He's got the mismatch. Alexander couldn't get the rebound. It ends up with Jawaro.
Fields initially wanted to feed the ball into Alexander, hesitated and left that jumper short.
Alexander had Hidayat at the post in the previous sequence. Here comes Esho attacking Young. Esho out of control, able to lay it up and in. Maxi Esho able to score the deuce, but here protested because he caught the ball right after he made the shot.
Slingers asking for a delay of game.
Alexander stops, fires. That is off to the left.
If I'm the Knights, I'm giving Xavier Alexander that long bomb all game long. Make him prove that he can beat you from the outside.
Esho stops, turns, fires. Too strong, great defense right there by Singapore. Young using that field screen. Sharon Young zigzagging, difficult shot.
A little out of control there was Sharon Young.
Oh, Hidayat open for 3. Knocks that one down.
That's 5 points off the bench from Arif Hidayat. What an energy boost, and that forces Wong-Wei Long back to his seat.
And Arif Hidayat giving the CLS Knights the 5-point cushion. At the 6 and 44 mark of the second quarter, Slingers called the timeout. The CLS Knights have turned things up here in the second quarter, Marco B. That is courtesy of their local player off the bench. Their backup point guard, Arif Hidayat, providing a spark and giving them a 2-possession lead.
In game 3, it was Cornyawan who had 6 points in a losing effort. So far, it's Arif Hidayat with 5 points off the bench in game 4. He has outscored Singapore Slingers bench.
And that's an interesting factor here, Marco B, because the bench production hasn't been there for CLS in the first 3 games. They got 4, 8, and 6 in the first 3 games. So this is a welcome sight for Coach Brian as they call the foul against the CLS Knights here.
That's going to be the 13th foul already for the Knights here in the second quarter. Singapore Slingers have yet to commit a foul, so that might be a factor.
Right. With only almost 3.5 gone here in the second frame. Alexander on top here. He's been the marked man here by the CLS Knights. He is up against Esho now. Saw the opening, attacked right away, and Alexander is able to get the deuce.
And again, using his quickness against Maxi Esho, Daryl Watkins late to the help.
So it's 28-25. Alexander able to trim it to a 3-point advantage. 4 minutes gone in the second quarter. Doug Herring. 7 seconds to shoot for the CLS Knights. He's got Ang Han Bin on him. Doug Herring stops, pops, does not drop. And Singapore goes the other way very quickly. But the CLS Knights have been good and on their transition defense here in the first half.
A little bit of an early shot there for Jaron Young.
Maxi Esho goes back out to Jawado. They swing the ball around. Hitayat with a 3-pointer earlier. Backs up, shoots the free. That's from the left wing, and he drops it in.
And what a boost off the bench. Hitayat has given the Knights supreme confidence. Showed John Fields back up a couple of steps. Knocks it down in front of him.
Larry Liu tries to counter, too strong. Fields, Ang Han Bin getting it back off the glass and in.
I believe that's the first pair of second chance points for the Singapore Slingers, courtesy of Ang Han Bin.
Quick counter right there for the Singapore Slingers. Hitayat has been the man of the moment for CLS. Jawado for 3! And it's raining 3-pointers all of a sudden here in Gor Kurtajaya.
And this is the last thing the Slingers want to happen, a shootout in Gor Kurtajaya. Remember, #1 3-point shooting team in terms of 3-point percentage. Xavier Alexander quickly silencing the crowd.
And this is what we did not see in game number 3. The lights out shooting from the outside from the CLS Knights. They're starting to click here in the second frame. Maxi Esho. They go to Watkins inside. Looking for the open man. Watkins turns. Shot put is good.
Coach Neo Beng Shang continuing to rely on single coverage. And Daryl Watkins has continued to make them pay.
And Xavier Alexander in an effort to give the Slingers a quick counter, draws the foul in the process.
And you love the mindset of the MVP, not settling for outside jumpers. He knows that they need good possessions every time down the floor. Keeps attacking the rim, draws the foul once again from CLS.
Timeout here on the floor, the CLS Knights. Back to live action, 36-29 is the time. Exactly 4 minutes remaining here in the second quarter. Good things starting to happen here for the CLS Knights. That includes beating Singapore at their own game. The fast break game has belonged to CLS here, at least in the first half, outscoring the Singapore Slingers there 9-0.
And you know, one of the X factors, as you mentioned, Arif Hidayat has played close to 8 minutes in the game, 8 points already, so that's about a point per minute. And he is one of the reasons why Wong Wei Long has not seen a lot of action.
Here is Xavier Alexander, 4th year with the Singapore Slingers. First time to win the MVP award this year. Has improved a lot through the years on that free throw. Knocks in the first to cut the lead down to 6.
Wong Wei Long in 6.5 minutes of play has yet to score here for the Knights. And they're lucky that Hidayat has really stepped up. But Xavier Alexander continues to be consistent. That's 2 for 2 from the line.
5-point lead by the CLS Knights.
There's a little 1-2-2 half-court pressure just to delay the offense here of the Knights.
14 remaining on the clock here. Hitayat stops, pops. That is short. Draws air on that one. Alexander facing up against Maxi Esho. They go cross-court. Oh, that is deflected by Herring. Well read by Doug. But Young will recover. Singapore on the attack here. Alexander for three. No go. And a rebound goes to Brandon Jawado. Jawado bringing it downhill. They go to Herring at the post. He's got Ang Han Bin on him. The spin, the feed. Watkins draws the foul in the process again.
And again, that one off another pass from the interior, in the interior, coming from Doug Herring. So good things have happened every time Herring has penetrated the interior of the Singapore Slingers.
Look at the off-ball action right there. Cutting middle is Darryl Watkins, able to draw the foul. And 2 free throws coming up here.
That's one of the reasons why Herring has been, or is actually one of the leaders in terms of assists, averaging about close to 9 assists per ball game during the regular season because of those penetrations like those.
And with Maxi Esho and Doug Herring not doing as much in the scoring department, it's been the other guys like Watkins, Arif Hidayat carrying the scoring load for the CLS Knights. 6-point lead here. Young going to Liu. That is too strong on the three-pointer, contested by Watkins.
Zone being showed there by the Knights.
Esho takes the contact from Young. And Young is called for the foul.
What about the court vision there of Doug Herring in transition? Credit also Maxi Esho continuing to run. That has been the big difference we've seen in the game of CLS so far. They have really forced the issue and put pressure on the defense in transition.
They've turned up the pace here in this contest. And action has picked up really here in the second quarter as Esho misses the first free throw. And those are the things that they need to take advantage of, especially that they're getting a lot of attempts at the line tonight. Esho splits his charities. Under 3 minutes remaining.
Look at Martin, just to show you how aggressive the Knights have been. They've gone to the line 14 times already. Wow. Converted on 10 of those.
And it's one more there of their total in game number 3, and we're only here in the first half. Alexander going baseline, dishing it out. Darryl Liu, Desmono fakes it, attacks. Oh, swatted away by Watkins. Here comes CLS on the move. A foul given up by Young. And Esho will be at the free throw line.
That's a Judy foul there on the part of Jaren Young, preventing the highlight play by Maxi Esho, and he hears it from the crowd.
That is a good hard playoff foul given up by Jaren Young.
Did not really have the intention of hurting Maxi Esho, but the force or the momentum. Oh, it looks like they upgraded it to an unsportsmanlike.
So this is the second unsportsmanlike foul called against the Singapore Slingers here in the first half. The first one, they called it on Desmono, and now it's Jaren Young who got the call. So Esho will have 2 free throws, and CLS will have a bonus possession.
I don't know if there was excessive contact on that one. I think it was more of the momentum of Maxi Esho.
Yeah. But Esho missing on the first free throw again. This could be the opportunity that CLS has been waiting for to create separation in this game, Marco.
So far they are enjoying their biggest lead of 7 points.
And Maxi Esho drops in the second. And so far CLS Knights have kept it high scoring here in this ball game.
Exactly. So what I was about to say. In the second quarter of Game 3, it was 10-12 in favor of the Slingers.
So 39-31. CLS enjoying their biggest lead at 8 points. Wong Wei Long is back in the ball game facing Desmono, his longtime teammate. Here's the cross-court pass. Jawado catch and shoot. Had a good line, but that was too strong. Watkins with the offensive rebound. Herring. Good defense here by Larry Liu, and Liu is forced to give up the foul.
And again, another penetration from Doug Herring, not settling for that 3-point shot. what that does is it forces the defense to collapse, draws another foul from the Singapore Slingers.
And Marco B, CLS Knights, well, they've been scoring a lot on their transition plays, but when they get on the half-court set, so far tonight, they have been patient on their offense. And this is an inbound, sideline inbound here, as that is only the 4th team foul against the Singapore Slingers. Maxi Esho off the inbound, could not put it in. John Fields rips it out.
Esho is yet to connect on a 3-point shot.
Alexander, Hong Han Bin. Oh! Poked away by Esho, and here is Maxi Esho. Watch out! Maxi Esho taking flight!
Another steal, leading to a fast break finish. 12 fast break points for the Knights.
And chance of MVP here in Gore Kirtajaya after that thunderous slam by Maxi Esho. They got a timeout here, a 10-point lead by the CLS Knights. We saw some highlights here of the second quarter from the CLS Knights. They have created a double-digit advantage with 1:44 remaining here in the first half. The Singapore Slingers, Marco B, calling for the timeout, looking for some answers to the CLS barrage.
They're going to have to try to find a way to stop the momentum of the CLS Knights. Otherwise, they're going to go into the halftime huddle very confident to get a win here in Surabaya. 5 turnovers already, or 5 steals already for the Knights.
And that is exactly how they got blown out. Talking about the Singapore Slingers in game number 1. Yet another turnover. Not a good sequence of the timeout for Coach Neo Bengshan.
And you know, I don't get the idea why Delvin Go was going to set a ball screen for John Fields, because John Fields does not operate that way. He's not going to attack you off the ball screen from the top of the key.
So a lapse from Singapore, an opportunity for CLS, and they will take advantage. Jawado open for 3, knocks it down!
Another well-executed possession on the part of CLS. That's their 4th triple of the game. Assist number 9.
Oh, things getting chippy here between John Fields and Maxi Esho.
John Fields is frustrated.
Yeah.
He's been frustrated by the defense because he has not been able to operate inside pretty much the entire half.
That's right. He will have an opportunity here at the free throw line that puts the CLS Knights in penalty situation. Here's the foul. He got clipped by Maxi Esho there. So the retaliation from John Fields came after.
There was a little grab there, or a little hook on the part of Maxi Escher, and John Fields did not want any part of it.
So Singapore Slingers looking for solutions as the game is slowly slipping away from their hands.
When you're down, when you're on the road, free throws are crucial because this is a way to silence the crowd. This is a way to get your rhythm back.
Especially when you're facing a very familiar high-octane CLS Knights here at home. And John Fields knocking down the second under a minute remaining, 57 seconds to be exact. Sandy Curnyawan checks in. And that is Wong Wei Long bringing it downhill for CLS. Wong Wei Long stopping, getting patient. Esho rather goes around. Got the contact, no go on the second serving. Here's John Fields falling down. Gets it to Alexander.
That was great defense on the part of the Slingers.
Alexander on the double pump, no good. Dog Herring ripping out the rebound against 2 red shirts. Herring. Under half a minute remaining here. That is, a collision here on the other side. They're getting to a wet spot on the side of the CLS Knights.
The referee stopping the play. Make sure that the floor is suitable, as there was no advantage on the part of the CLS Knights. There's that solid pick set there by Darryl Watkins, and Xavier Alexander doing his best to sell that call.
Yeah. But the stoppage came first as they're attending here to the wet spot on the floor. 44-32. CLS Knights finding their old identity here at home.
Knights are going to have 14 seconds on their shot clock. There's 24.23 seconds on the game clock. So the Slingers can still have the last say of the half.
10 seconds differential.
20 seconds.
Wong Wei Long goes to Sandy Kurniawan. Doug Herring against Desmono. He's got the matchup there. Oh, Daryl Watkins on the roll. 15 points for Watkins in the first half.
And again, off the penetration of Doug Herring. That's going to be a foul on Sandy Kurniawan. And things are getting very chippy.
We got to see it again, Marco. That was off the inbound. Alexander looking to bring the ball down. Sandy Kurniawan tagging him. Let's see here, Fields getting to Alexander.
Alexander also doing a good job to sell that. Hanging on to Sandy Kurniawan.
Gets himself an opportunity at the free throw line here. And the Slingers don't. This is not an unfamiliar situation for them because they have faced double-digit deficits in the past.
And, this is the reason why free throws are important. And this is, Xavier Alexander being a veteran, being an MVP, he knows that he can really take advantage of this as referees are calling it tight. Knights are playing very physical.
And that's 12 points now for Xavier Alexander. Two players getting at it again.
The Slingers know that the Knights have a rhythm. And they're just doing what they can to get whatever advantage they can muster.
So 7 seconds remaining. Wong Wei Long brings it down. 3 seconds. Wong Wei Long all the way, no good. And the CLS Knights unable to get a second shot right there as it goes out of bounds. That's the buzzer. That marks the end of the first half. The CLS Knights using a big second frame to create a commanding lead. 46-34 is the count against the Singapore Slingers. Halftime stats and analysis coming your way. This is the ASEAN Basketball League Finals. It's to greatness.
Alright guys, here we are at the court of the Castle CLS Knights Indonesia. We are at the halftime. So far so good for the home team. And now we got Ibnu Jamil, one of the Indonesian celebrities here, supporting the home team for tonight. Ibnu, apa kabar?
Baik.
Gimana selama 2 quarter pendapat lo tentang permainan dari CLS Knights gimana?
Wow, this is so hot gue bilang di sini. Ini adalah kandangnya CLS. Udah waktunya CLS untuk ambil game lagi untuk game keempat ini. Ini pertandingan penting. Meskipun tadi kita udah sempat ketinggalan 10 poin di awal, gue yakin sih pasti teman-teman nervous, itu oke, tapi responnya sangat luar biasa, mereka cepat banget respon baliknya dan terbukti kita sekarang leading.
So, even though we have a rough start at the first quarter and the home team bounce back and then have like a 12-point lead at the halftime. For you, siapa pemain favorit kamu di BTN CLS Knights?
Udah pasti Jawa tuh oke, gue suka banget, mainnya efektif. Terus SO juga, mereka bermain kolaborasinya juga ritmenya udah mulai nemu lagi. Meskipun di awal agak sedikit kebingungan gue lihat, tapi so far so good dan gue yakin CLS akan diambil.
Alright, this is a game to win for the BTN CLS Knights. Last but not least, what do you think about the Knights here, the supporters?
Wow, gokil, it's so crazy. Semuanya antusiasnya sangat luar biasa, nggak pernah di Indonesia punya animo sebesar seperti Surabaya.
So the crowd, the atmosphere hit really crazy, right?
Yeah, right.
Alright, Ibnu Jamil, thank you very much. Hopefully you will enjoy the game. Hopefully your favorite team will win.
Sangat.
Alright, thank you. Back to you guys.
Okay.
This is where it all begins. We're partners, you and I. When we're together, we're unstoppable. When we're together, anything is possible. At BTN, we know the power of partnership. A good partner works with you intimately. A good partner knows what you need. A good partner always has your back. The partner for starting your dream family, building your dream home, realizing the dream. It takes courage to begin, but it takes encouragement to keep on going. So go on, dream big. We're with you every step of the way. You have a partner in BTN.
Ketika keadaan tak sesuai harapan. Stop! Jangan banyak drama. Kenalin, Velas, sahabatmu dalam setiap transaksi falas. Traveling kini tak perlu repot tukar uang ke money changer. Nikmati dunia tanpa batas bersama Velas. Tanpa provisi, tanpa drama. Bank BTN.
Makan nih jangan mikir. Nih, Fitri, gak bikin gendut.
Fit me, makan mie, jangan mikir.
Ketika keadaan tak sesuai harapan. Stop! Jangan banyak drama. Kenalin, Velas, sahabatmu dalam setiap transaksi falas. Kamu bisa mulai tabungan kamu tanpa khawatir kurs naik turun. Nikmati dunia tanpa batas bersama Velas. Tanpa provisi, tanpa drama. Bank BTN.
Makan nih jangan pakai mikir. Nih, Fitri, 50 kalori doang. Bisa gitu.
Fit me, makan mie, jangan mikir.
Ketika keadaan tak sesuai harapan. Stop! Jangan banyak drama. Kenalin, Velas, sahabatmu dalam setiap transaksi falas. Dengan kurs kompetitif, bisnis kamu akan selalu mendapat nilai tukar terbaik. Nikmati dunia tanpa batas bersama Velas. Tanpa provisi, tanpa drama.
This is where it all begins. We're partners, you and I. When we're together, we're unstoppable. When we're together, anything is possible. At BTN, we know the power of partnership. A good partner works with you intimately. A good partner knows what you need. A good partner always has your back. The partner for starting your dream family, building your dream home, realizing the dream. It takes courage to begin, but it takes encouragement to keep on going. So go on, dream big. We're with you every step of the way. You have a partner in BTN.
Welcome back to the coverage. This is the finals, game number 4 of your ASEAN Basketball League. Singapore Slingers and the CLS Knights are battling it out tonight. CLS Knights taking a 12-point lead at halftime. Martin Javier, Marco Benitez here for the coverage. And Marco B, well, after that 8-0 run by the Singapore Slingers, you know, the CLS Knights have made a full recovery in this game. And in fact, they take a double-digit advantage. I think they did not show, they were not able to make in game number 3.
That's right, Martin. As you took a look at the stats, pretty much everything going the way of the CLS Knights. And 2 key points we talked about. Fast break points in favor of the Knights, 12-0. Second chance points in the paint rather, in favor of the Knights, 22-12. Also, free throw attempts, 17 already for the Knights, only 8 for the Singapore Slingers. They have been the aggressor, and that is why they're enjoying a double-digit lead.
Oh, Maxi Esho! What a start to the second half here. A two-handed throwdown for CLS.
And the Knights averaging about 86 points per game in the regular season. They are on pace to do just that.
Alexander missing on the shot, faking. Oh, couldn't score underneath. Even the gimmies have been missed by the Singapore Slingers here.
You know, the interior defense of the Knights has been on point, and I think key to that was getting Daryl Watkins aggressive or getting his confidence early in the game. We talked about how he was the missing factor in Game 3. Just 5 points. Right now, Watkins leading all scorers for the CLS Knights with 15 points.
And the first foul of the second half called against the Singapore Slingers. If we go back to the keys to the game, Marco B, all checks for the CLS Knights. Their offense has been smoothly flowing here, but for the Singapore Slingers, it's been all X's. They have not been able to keep it a low-scoring game, and
They've not been able to defend the interior as well.
That's right. And the running game has been non-existent as well.
Exactly right, Martin. Everything has so much major points all in favor of the home squad.
Here is Maxi Esho as we resume action here. Step back jumper. Too strong for Esho. And here is Jaron Young looking to get it going here in the third. Young all the way to the hoop plus the foul.
One thing that we did not see happen very often, or we did not see at all in the first half, that was the first pair of fast break points for the Singapore Slingers, courtesy of Jaron Young.
Look at the acceleration here by Jaron Young. Saw the straight line to the hoop, took advantage right away. And here is a three-point play opportunity here for Mr. Young, who has 4 points in the ball game. Couldn't complete the three-point play though.
Still an entire second half awaiting for the Singapore Slingers. Can very much get back into this game, but they're gonna have to play solid defense.
And again, that is an open look for Brandon Jawado. Instant triple for the CLS Knights.
Right now, 5 out of 10 from long distance are the Knights, while the Singapore Slingers are missing. They are 2 out of 7. We talked about how three-point shooting was also going to be one of the keys.
Right. And the Singapore Slingers have been giving them open looks. Wong Wei Long, guarded by Liu. Wong dishing it out. Jawado again, hand in his face. Back-to-back hits from distance for Brandon Jawado.
That was a tough shot there from Jawado. Fading away with a hand in his face.
My goodness. Guns blazing to begin the second half for the CLS Knights as they open up an 18-point lead. Almost 2 minutes gone in the third. It is an 8-2 blast for the home squad to begin the second half, opening up their biggest lead of the night. 54-36. CLS Knights looking to stay alive in this series and force a game number 5.
And this is exactly the type of energy that Coach Brian Rossum wants out of that second half or that first half huddle. Is to dictate the tempo, dictate the momentum off the bat here in the second half. And they have done just that.
6 triples here for the CLS Knights. Back-to-back by Brandon Jawado. before the timeout, a foul here against CLS. And they're going to call it away from the basketball.
You know, Martin, especially because the Singapore Slingers is not the type of a team that will overwhelm you with their offense.
Right.
They're more of a one-stop, score on one end of the floor. They will not really score in bunches or in splurges.
That's right. That's one of the reasons why they prefer having a low-scoring game. And that is Jaron Young stepping outside on the catch right there. Ball goes back to CLS.
And credit to Jaron Young, starting out very aggressive. That's already 2 penetrations or 2 attacks to the rim. But on that sequence, the defense of the Knights holding fast.
Brandon Jawado here. Again, got the look he wanted. That one off to the right. Bit of a heat check right there for Jawado.
Would have brought the house down, though.
Right. There's Young. Passed up on the open look, and that's why, a missed dunk by Jaron Young, and a frustration foul right after on Wong Wei Long.
A clearly frustration foul. Left that dunk a bit short. But you know, if you're Coach Neo Beng Shang, you love the aggressiveness.
Right.
Because so far he's the only one here in the second half taking the fight for the Knights.
Look at this play. He got the open lane, but just couldn't finish the throwdown.
Nobody else on the side of the red shirts as aggressive as Jaron Young. Jaron Young is going to head to the bench. That's his 4th personal foul.
That's big, yeah. So Jaron Young, who's been foul prone all season long, picks up his 4th. And they're forced to go 3 locals here alongside Alexander and John Fields. And this is a foul against Singapore.
And you know, the Knights like to run that small to big screen or small to big handoff sometimes, using Doug Herring as the screener or the guy to hand off the ball. That time he was a screener against Daryl Watkins. John Fields forced the foul against Doug Herring.
Sideline inbound here, or baseline inbound rather, for CLS. Here comes Doug Herring. They go to Wong Wei Long on the pull-up jumper. Short. And that one goes high over the backboard, so ball will go back to the Slingers.
And you know, you cannot fault Wong Wei Long to trying to get his game going. Still scoreless. 0 out of 4 from the field is Wong Wei Long.
John Fields goes around the defense. Kicks it out to Ong Han Bin. No good on the corner triple.
Another well-challenged shot attempt there for the Knights.
Oh. Doug Herring recovering there for CLS. Wong Wei Long penetrating again. Gets to the paint. Jawado. Watkins thought about it, finally taking the shot and able to knock it in on that 17-footer.
No defender in sight there for the Singapore Slingers.
And a quick answer on the other side, much needed here by the X-Man, Xavier Alexander.
18-point bulge right now. Singapore Slingers need to make a stop.
4 minutes gone in the 3rd quarter. Doug Herring. He's got John Fields on the switch. Looking for Watkins, who has Larry Liu at the post. And that's a push called against Liu.
Another basketball IQ of Doug Herring, using that 2-man game. Forcing that switch and then looking for his big man.
And Xavier Alexander barking instructions right there at the ear of Larry Liu. Here comes Watkins. Brandon Jawado here, facing up against Liu. Oh! When you're hot, you're hot! Brandon Jawado, 3rd triple here in the 3rd.
That one right in between the eyes of Larry Liu.
And John Fields forcing the issue right there off the spin. And he will head to the line here for a couple of shots. But how about Brandon Jawado, the fire starter for the CLS Knights?
This guy averaged about 13 points per ball game. Already up to 14 here in game 4. And, you know, those penetrations by John Fields, they've been few and far between. He's only 3 out of 6 from the field. 8 points here in game 4.
Singapore Slingers staring at a 21-point mountain as John Fields misses on the first.
Against the Knights this season, Fields has been averaging 20 points per game, 11.5 rebounds. So far, it's a far cry. 8 points, make that 9.
So 59-39 is the count as we approach the halfway point of the third frame. Doug Herring getting it to Wong Wei Long on the left side. Herring gets it to Eschel. They go to the corner. Kornyawan. Watkins on the fake. Kornyawan, by the way, entering for Jawado here. As Doug Herring, step back jumper, it's good. Everything falling for CLS.
That time with the shot clock winding down. Tough shot there on the part of Herring.
But Ang Han Bin with a fire extinguisher right there on the triple.
Much needed 3-point shot. Their third triple of the game.
They started off hot on that range, but couldn't sustain it. Talking about the red shirts. Sandy Kornyawan.
He's content to move the ball around. That's going to be a... Looks like it was a swipe or a hook on the part of Daniel Watkins. Caught John Fields at the back of the head.
So John Fields will be called for the foul here. Let's see.
That's also going to be his fourth.
Right. So Young and Fields. Let's confirm it here. Watkins at the free throw line, going for the first shot here. Knights maintaining the 19-point lead. And again, the missing link in the past 2 games for the CLS Knights. Daryl Watkins has come alive here in game number 4.
So check that, Martin. That's actually going to be the third personal foul against John Fields.
So trouble slowly brewing here in the foul situation for the Singapore Slingers as Watkins misses the second. Xavier Alexander goes to Larry Liu. That's a 3-pointer, and it's good.
Well, that's going to be a double foul there between Doug Herring and John Fields. And guess what? That's going to be number 4.
Oh, wow.
Against the Singapore big man.
So Fields with 4 personal fouls right now. Young with 4 fouls. Things are not looking good here for the Singapore Slingers. Staring at a 20-point lead here.
And the question is, does the basket count from Larry Liu? Because that's a triple.
And on our scoreboard here at the venue, they're counting the shot, so it's 45-62. A double foul called against Herring and John Fields. Referees convening here, trying to determine the right call. It looks like John Fields will remain on the floor, Marco. They could not afford him being on the bench.
That's a big gamble there on the part of Coach Neo Beng Shang, but I think the thought that is going through the mind of Coach Neo Beng Shang, it's now or never.
Right.
If they do not make a run to close out the third quarter, then that 20-point bulge is probably going to be insurmountable going into the fourth with your big man with 4 personals, Jared Young also with 4 personals.
All right, so our officials heading to the scorer table here. Chief referee clarifying the final score. If it's gonna count, nope, it doesn't count because they subtracted the points here, so it remains at 62-42. Bit of a stoppage here.
So that sequence is really going to hurt the Singapore Slingers. Not only do they not count the triple, that is the 4th personal foul, as we mentioned, for John Fields.
A double whammy right there for Singapore. So they count the basket back, Marco B, 62-45. And with that stoppage, that was a good 3 to 5 minute stoppage here, Marco B. Could shift the momentum. Could neutralize at least the momentum in this ballgame.
And that is what Coach Neo Beng Shang is hoping for.
So 4.5 minutes remaining as we are about to resume action. We welcome you back to Gor Kertajaya here in Surabaya, Indonesia. Coach Brian clarifying the call here.
Our lead referee explaining to Coach Brian Rosa.
Again, Singapore Slingers up in this series 2 games to 1. So on the double foul, they will give free throws to Doug Herring because the Singapore Slingers are in the penalty.
Silent, please.
2 shots here for Doug. Trying to get back the 3-pointer scored earlier by Larry Leo. Knocks in the first.
9th point of the game for Doug Herring. So far, he has been perfect from the charity stripe, 5 out of 5. And of course, sweet chicks.
That's on you, Marco Vito. That was perfectly. That was on cue. Perfectly called. That is.
And now they give possession to the Singapore Slingers, I believe.
So Singapore will have it here. Russell Lowe entering the ball game, replacing John Fields. So Coach Neo forced to sub out John Fields here with 4 personal fouls. Let's see if this cast can bring them back in the ball game.
Russell Lowe had 6 minutes of action in game 3. Was scoreless though.
So the focal point will be the X-Man, Ong Han Bin. Back to Alexander, one-on-one against Esho, and that is a shot clock violation forced by the defense of the CLS Knights.
And the defense of the Knights just packing it in, just jamming that penetration coming from Xavier Alexander. They are not at all threatened by the outside shooting of the Singapore Slingers.
So earlier, a couple of players with 4 personal fouls, Young and Fields, both on the bench of Singapore. CLS Knights on the attack here.
2-3 zone for the red shirts.
Long way long. Stopping. Couldn't make the shot. Alexander gets it. Xavier goes to Delvin. Russell Lowe, who just came off the bench here, dishing it out to Larry Leo, who uses that. Delvin goes free, and Ong Han Bin for 3. That's a bit too strong. And Ong Han Bin tried to poke it away from Watkins, unable to do so.
And without Jaron Young, without John Fields, there's hardly anybody that's going to be a threat inside the paint.
So Alexander will have to assert himself here. Maxi Esho drops in the jumper right there. A 3-pointer for Esho to give them back the 21-point lead.
That's about their average in terms of 3-point makes here in the finals, as Ong Han Bin with a good answer for the Slingers.
Trimming it down to 18 again, Ong Han Bin.
Still a lot of time here in the 3rd quarter, close to 3 minutes.
Here's the find. Oh, Watkins with a thunderous slam underneath.
And without John Fields manning the middle, miscommunication on that 2-3 zone. Daryl Watkins wide open for the flush.
Ideal scenario for the Singapore Slingers. Swinging baskets right now with CLS. Alexander attacking Esho. Sager losing it out.
You notice the defense of the Knights just standing around, just waiting for the penetration to happen. They're just shadowing their man outside and then waiting for the penetration.
So that is Harif Hidayat in the ball game now for CLS. 2:25 to go in the 3rd frame.
Jaron Young is also back in the game. Coach Neo Beng Shang needs a mini run here to close out the 3rd, and he's relying on his athletic wingman to give them just that.
But if you're CLS, you see red. Let's see if they're gonna attack Young here. Doug Herring has got Ong Han Bin, has the advantage on the bounce. Goes off a foot. All remains with CLS.
There's a lucky break there on the part of home squad. Shot clock will reset to 14. Not a lot happening on that possession.
Nugroho and Hidayat in the ball game for CLS, alongside Kurnawan, Doug Herring, and Maxi Esho.
And it's Jaron Young with 4 personals defending against Doug Herring.
Doug, step back jumper. Bit too strong. Ang Han Bin taps it to Alexander. Young starting the break, and that's a foul. Clear foul right there, given up by Hidayat.
I was going to send Jaron Young to the free throw stripe. This is what you want if you're the Slingers. Slow the game down, get to the line, and get some uncontested free throws.
And exactly what they ordered from Jaron Young. Couple of shots, couple of opportunities at the line here for Young, who has been struggling in this game but has shown aggressiveness in the third quarter. At least before getting that 4th personal foul.
We talked about how the Slingers have outscored the Knights on the break by an average of 13 points per game in their 2 wins.
Right.
The past 2 games, but so far it's been the Knights 12-4.
Only 4 points for Singapore in the season. They're averaging 20 a game. Oh, Cornell the open look. In and out though. Cleaning the lid right there. Young starting it for the Slingers. Ang Han Bin backs up. Ang Han Bin straight away 3-pointer. Too strong. Maxi with the catch. Approaching a minute left here in the third quarter. Maxi Esho. Couple of between the legs. Here's Hidayat, backs up. Lots of time to shoot here for CLS. 10 seconds to be exact. Hidayat attacking low, the kick out. Esho on the drive. Maxi Esho taking it strong. In the process, he is able to get the whistle on the Slingers.
And you know, Martin, early in the season, that would have been a quick shot for Maxi Esho. You see how much this team has matured, looking for the best possible opportunity on that one. Recognizing that there's no John Fields in the paint, Maxi Esho going for the high percentage shot.
Maxi Esho, spectacular season in his first year with the CLS Knights. Last year, also had a great season with the Saigon Heat. 23 points per game in the season for Maxi.
Right now, he has 16 points. Game 3 players in double digits.
Young. Again, stay aggressive here is Jaron Young. Attacking as soon as he caught the basketball.
And for Maxi Esho, that's going to be his 3rd personal foul. There's that bump.
So Young doing a great job in preserving himself here, Marco. He was inserted with about 2 minutes and a half remaining in the third quarter. And I stayed from that point forward, but Jaron Young couldn't make the first free throw. They will need every point and every opportunity they can get here. The Slingers hanging on for dear life, at least in this game.
And actually here in the second half, the Slingers have done a better job slowing the game down as all those 12 points, 12 fast break points of the Knights have come in the first half, but it was really the 3-point shooting of the Knights here in the third quarter that broke this game wide open.
CLS trying to go for the 2-man game there between Doug Herring and Nugroho. The pass was deflected out, so all will stay with CLS. They've got 13 seconds to shoot, 38 seconds on the game clock.
The referee is doing a good job talking it out.
Catch and shoot. In and out for Doug Herring. Foul on the rebound right there against Esho.
That's going to be the 4th personal foul on Maxi Esho. So CLS cannot sleep on these Singapore Slingers.
So Singapore Slingers quietly getting the 4th foul of Maxi Esho.
That's a veteran move there on the part of Xavier Alexander, tangling up Maxi Esho.
And more importantly, they get to stop the clock and they get to trim the lead at the free throw line. Alexander going to the line. hasn't been the ideal game for the X-Man as he is continuously crowded by the defense of CLS. Drops in the first free throw, 15 points so far for Alexander.
Problem is he is the only slinger in double figures. John Fields has 9 points, but Saddle with foul trouble. Larry Liu also with 4 personals and 8 points. Jaron Young, 4 personals, 7 points. First miss of the X-Man from the line.
The Slingers right now are 11 out of 17 as a team. For Singapore, you gotta get a stop here and get a basket probably right after to get it closer. As we end the third, here comes Doug Herring. Hesitating on the drive, Hidayat open. Off to the left. Alexander, quick outlet, the catch by Young. He's got Hidayat here. And that's a foul given up by Doug Herring with 1.7 seconds remaining here in the third.
And again, a smart play there on the part of Xavier Alexander. Quick forward pass to the streaking Jaron Young. And as he has done all game long, Jaron Young remains to be aggressive. First foul from Doug Herring.
If you're Singapore, this is how you chip away at the free throw line, stopping the clock again. And Young has been the catalyst of this scheme. At the free throw line right now, he's got 7 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 dimes. Calmly drops in the first.
For Doug Herring, that was his second personal foul. Maxi Esho and Brandon Jawato both have 4 personals. Watkins has 2.
Young 2 for 2. It is down to 16 from a high of 21. Here's the heave by Cornyawan. Off to the right, and that marks the end of the third quarter. You're inside Gor Kertajaya in Surabaya, Indonesia. CLS Knights maintaining a 16-point advantage. 70-54 is our score going into the fourth round.
Back to the game. Surabaya, salam satu nyali.
We welcome you back on a Saturday evening here inside the Palace in Gor Kertajaya in Surabaya, Indonesia for game number 4 of your CN Basketball League Finals. You got Martin Aguirre, Marco Benitez breaking this game down, and all the quarters so far going to the CLS Knights as they take the 16-point lead going into our last quarter.
And this is exactly the type of output that the Knights need or Knights want. Not scoring below 20 points in any quarter. They average about 76 points per game against the Singapore Slingers this season. And they are definitely on track and on pace to beat that.
CLS Knights with their backs against the wall, responding very well to the pressure here at home. But let's see if they could maintain it and seal the victory here and force game number 5. The Singapore Slingers, though, are filled with ABL veterans that are used to these kinds of situations. As we see a foul there underneath on the second effort is Daryl Watkins there.
Regardless, this is just a 14-point deficit for the Singapore Slingers as Ang Han Bin got the wind knocked out of him on that rebounding sequence.
Hard collision.
Looks like he's bleeding.
Hard collision there with Daryl Watkins. 70-56 is
number 17.
Ang Han Bin goes to the bench here. Looks like he's bleeding, either bleeding or has a bruise on that right side of his face.
And I don't know if the referee called a technical as well for something that Ang Han Bin said.
So there was a technical, so Sandy Cornyawan taking the technical free throw here.
I did not like the contact that came after that Daryl Watkins offensive rebound, and he let the referee know. So chance for Sandy Cornyawan to up this lead once again.
And also get his jumper going. He knocks down the free throw right there. Sandy Cornyawan gets them the 15-point lead. 9:21 to go. CLS will have it. Here's the inbound off the baseline. Arif Hidayat, the catch. Oh, saw the opening but couldn't make the layup.
Sorry, missed there on the part of Hidayat. That was a beautiful baseline inbounds play, but a quick answer for Xavier Alexander. So the lead is down to 13 points, Martin.
We're going to credit that threading the needle pass by Jaron Young.
Coach Brian Rosa will not wait for the lead to be trimmed down even further. He's going to send Jawato back in the game despite having 4 personals.
Wong Wei Long, the kick out to Corneawan for 3. It's good!
What a big shot there for Sandy Corneawan. That free throw really did the trick.
Jaron Young for 3. Oh, that's way off for Young. And Doug Herring getting the rebound here. Sandy Corneawan with a big-time basket to prevent the uprising of the Singapore Slingers.
Back to 16.
Here comes Watkins against the smaller Young.
There's no help defense.
That's the 4 fouls. Oh, Watkins forcing his way in, able to get the hoop.
You cannot leave Jaron Young with 4 personal fouls on an island against a 7-footer.
Lead back up to 18. Russell Lowe, series of moves. There's a foul inside.
That's a nice dream shake there, part of Russell Lowe.
So Watkins, I believe, called for the foul here. That will be his 4th. Russell Lowe to the free throw line. A couple of shots coming here for him. Hidayat heads to the bench. Lowe takes the free throw, knocks down the first.
Coach Neil Shang is forced, I believe, to send John Fields.
Brandon Jawato, as you mentioned earlier, Margo, is back on the floor for CLS.
John Fields is back in the game, despite having 4 personals.
Here is Jawato, slowly bringing it down for the Knights. They have the 16-point lead.
So it's Fields matched up against Jawato. It's Russell Lowe on that of Watkins.
Jawato stopping on a dime right there. Jawato taking the free on the turn. No go. Alexander with the rebound. And that's a slip. A foul from behind. It will be called either against Watkins or Corneawan.
Personal foul. 7,5 menit Surabaya. Kita tutup home game kita dengan kemenangan. Tetap tertib dengan berprovokasi.
By the CLS Knights.
Tetap berkelas.
Called it on the trip. From Sandy, here comes the X-Man. 7:22 remaining in the ball game here. John Fields passing it to Russell Lowe. Lowe puts it on the floor. They go to the corner. Young for 3. In and out. All alone for the rebound is Lowe. They kick it out to Liu. Russell driving. Russell, the floater. He does not drop. An empty trip for the Singapore Slingers.
Like you see, the confidence of Russell Lowe is definitely shot, not there, as he has not seen a lot of action this entire season. Had a wide open putback, opted to take the ball back out.
Those were good looks for the Singapore Slingers. Here comes CLS. Doug Herring deciding to shoot the 3. Rims out. Larry Liu up ahead to John Fields that throws it down.
There goes Brian Rossum sensing something, calls a timeout. He does not like what he sees.
And the Singapore Slingers will not go away. Trying to chip away here in the 4th frame, cutting the lead down to 14, 76-62.
Foul situation, Issue has 4 personals. Jawato with 4, Watkins has 3. Meanwhile, for the Slingers, Larry Lee with 4, John Fields has 4, and Jaron Young also with 4 personals.
Paints us a picture here as we head to the last 6 minutes of this ball game. Here is Maxi Esho. Over to Doug Herring here off the spin. Herring creating space, couldn't make it though, but Watkins again. He's been doing that all night. The second effort for Daryl Watkins.
Again, the penetration of Doug Herring resulting in buckets.
Defensive foul, 13, Daryl
But Xavier
Watkins.
Alexander, again, breaking the momentum and also getting the fourth foul here. Let's see the attack by Xavier, taking it straight to Daryl Watkins in that sequence. Fourth foul also on Watkins.
Xavier Alexander, one of the best at protecting that basketball, that football carry. Something that guys who like to finish in transition love to do, to protect the ball against the prying hands.
So 3 key players for the CLS Knights now with 4 personal fouls. You're talking about Watkins, Jawato, and Maxi Escher. Alexander. Oh, no good on the second, but Lowe right there with a cleanup. What a big shot by Russell Lowe.
3-point play in reverse there for the Singapore Slingers, and don't look now, lead is down to 13.
Brandon Jawato will try to create for CLS. He heads it to Maxi Escher, who attacks Young. Escher on the drive. Escher able to flip it up and in.
Maxi Escher has to be careful. He's not called for a delay of game. Handing the basketball after the basket.
CLS Knights, well, they've answered the call of Singapore. Alexander with a big triple.
Lead is down to 12 points. Singapore hanging in this one. Stop here and a bucket cuts it down to 10.
Halfway point of the fourth frame. Herring over to Watkins. Oh, that is the 5th foul on Fields. And he is done for the night.
Referee got him for initiating the contact.
Watkins outplaying John Fields tonight.
This is their numbers. Watkins with 24, but here's that move. And the bump.
Taking it to the core of John Fields to force the bump. So Russell Lowe back in the ball game here for the Singapore Slingers. It's Lowe against Watkins. Wong Wei Long. Sending it to Watkins. Watkins shoots the jumper. That's good! Oh wow, Daryl Watkins.
Russell Lowe defended that sequence as well as he could. Forced Watkins to the outside shot. The big man just in rhythm tonight. 26 big points.
Russell Lowe with a breakaway. Oh, couldn't score it with the left hand. Singapore Slingers missing golden opportunities at the rim.
Reminiscent of his 23-12 outing in game 1. Watkins has 26-12.
Escher almost losing it. Oh, snatched away by Alexander. Here is the X-Man. Have the numbers here. Alexander takes it to the house, able to draw the foul on Herring.
And Alexander taking it upon himself, making sure that he either got the layup or drew the foul.
And again, with 2 free throws in, assuming he makes both, as we see this drive by Alexander in transition, this will only be a 12-point game, RKP. And we have a lot of time remaining, a lot of basketball to be played, 3:59 to be exact. We got a timeout first. 14-point lead maintained by CLS as we head into this break. Got about 4 minutes, a little under 4 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter. And CLS Knights looking to pocket this win in game number 4 and again force a rubber match. If we do that, if they're able to get the win here, we will go back to the OCBC Arena in Singapore for game number 5.
You can be sure Xavier Alexander, the season MVP, still has other things in his mind as he heads to the line. 6 of 8 from the stripe. 23 points already for the X-Man.
They're not yet done here as he trickles in the first free throw. Young start here for the Singapore Slingers. Xavier Alexander, 24 points across his name.
Expect their 1-2-2 half-court trap.
Oh! That went out for Alexander.
Under 4 minutes.
So it is a 13-point game. Doug Herring. Nowhere to go, gets it to Esho. Esho, hounded by Liu. Great stay-at-home defense here, played by Liu. Esho on the post-up. Esho on the double pump.
That's too big, too strong, too long. Is Maxi Esho against Larry Liu.
Nothing you can ask more from Maxi Esho as he hits 20 points in this ballgame. Young for three. This will be big. No. Rebound goes to Watkins. And the Knights, with time on their side, can go for a deliberate play here and melt the clock. Watkins, quick jumper, too strong, low with the board.
Slingers are still alive.
Here comes Young. Young attacking Watkins. Young gets it in. Slingers still fighting.
Watkins lucky not to pick up his fifth personal on that sequence.
Daryl Watkins here. Under 3 minutes remaining here. Doug Herring on the post-up against Larry Liu. Liu will be called for the personal here.
Now we've not seen this Doug Herring post-up that often here. It's actually, in my count, only the second time Doug Herring has posted up in this game. Well, that results in the fifth personal foul on Larry Liu.
One of the top defenders of the Singapore Slingers going to the bench. Done for the night as well. And they will go for this lineup. Delvin Go, Russell Lowe. Alongside Jaron Young and Desmond O with Xavier Alexander. CLS on the attack again. 6 seconds to work with. Maxi Esho against Alexander. Jawado blowing by Alexander. He lets him go. Couldn't score with the left hand. Here comes Alexander. Oh! That was off Alexander according to our referee.
Breaks just not going the way of the Singapore Slingers.
2 and 15. From forcing game number 5. CLS Knights in the driver's seat. Watkins.
Basket here could really put this game away.
Long way long. Foul from behind by Desmond O.
Not going to count though.
So that's a foul on Desmond.
That's going to send Wong Wei Long to the free throw stripe.
Singapore Slingers entering penalty situation.
Chance for the former local MVP to get his first points of the game.
Hasn't been the ideal night, you're right, for Wong Wei Long. Has had his share of struggles in this series, only 2 points in total in the games that he's played. And Wong Wei Long getting his first points here.
But credit Arif Hidayat off the bench. 8 points, really stepping up the absence of the scoring from Wong Wei Long.
Alexander on the double pump, will not work. Delvin Go. They gang up on the rebound. They kick it out to Young. Sharon on the quick pull-up jumper. Drops that one in. 12-point lead. Wong Wei Long hounded at the backcourt. Oh, Esho. Let's see if they can get it across. Oh, Esho maintaining control right there.
Just beating the clock or beating that 8-second violation.
Oh, Jawado losing it to Young. Here is Delvin Go. Quickly to Desmond. Alexander from the corner. Short on the triple.
Did not have the legs on that 3-point attempt.
And the CLS Knights are feeling it. Doug Herring against Delvin Go here on top. The bounce. Watkins with the exclamation point.
And how fitting is that? Daryl Watkins with the icing on the cake, the guy we counted on, or the guy we talked about, who needed to have a big game. He's going to finish with 26 points.
Bounce back performance right here for Daryl Watkins. 14-point lead for the Knights. Under a minute remaining.
Lihat layarnya.
53.9 seconds remaining. The CLS Knights looking to bag this win. In game number 4, tie the series up against the Singapore Slingers.
Marley, we talked about how Daryl Watkins was the missing piece. Had 5 points in game 3. As you mentioned, big comeback game for him. 26 points, 15 rebounds, 5 assists. He leads all CLS Knights.
How about
the scoring?
Right, and how about the offense of CLS today? Just overwhelming the Singapore Slingers, getting them off their game as well. Because as the offense was flowing, the crowd was getting into it. Everything went CLS way.
We talked about how defense was the key if Singapore wanted to get these wins. They have been able to hold the CLS Knights to just 58.5 points per game in their 2 wins. CLS averages about 86 points per game. They're probably going to finish at around 87, close to 90 points in this impending win. So when the offense is good, it is in favor of the Knights. They have 3 players in double figures. Esho has 20, Watkins has 26, Jawato has 17.
And remember, in their lone win so far in the series, game number 1, they scored 86 points.
Coach Neil Ben Shang is going to raise the white flag. He's going to pull out his MVP.
And we're just waiting for the final score here, but what a dominating performance by the home squad, the CLS Knights. Successful in defending the Palace tonight. Wong Wei Long dribbling this one out.
Talked about the things or the keys to the game of the CLS Knights. Dominate inside the paint. They outscored the Slingers 36-24. Fast break points 12-10 in favor of the home squad. And their 3-point shooting. 9 triples in the game, 9 out of 20, 45%.
Crowd on its feet. CLS Knights 5 seconds away from getting it. And there you have it. CLS Knights have defended the Palace here in Gorkut, 87-74 win. And for the 2nd straight year, the ABL Finals will go the distance. Will stretch to a 5th game, a rubber match to decide the champion this year. And the emotions pouring here inside our venue.
Yes! Victory flag raised!
A very much deserved win for the loyal fans of the CLS Knights. Given to them by this team, who has shown brilliance all throughout the season. Marco V. They may have found their true form, their true identity. Got it back here in game number 4.
More than just a win, Martin, it was a character test for them after a sorry loss in game 3. Also after a tremendous loss for them in game 2. What a confidence boosting win for them here in game 4. And we're going to head to a rubber match in Singapore on Wednesday, and that is for all the marbles.
A winner take all game number 5. And Doug Herring raising the flag right here at midcourt. Crowd still cheering. Crowd still chanting. And what a game 5 we'll be having on Wednesday, Marco P.
And what was important for me, Martin, was the way they started the game out. 0 run here for the Knights. Really got their confidence up. Really got the crowd into it. Finishing that first quarter 21-18. Backing it up with a 25-16 second quarter.
That was actually the early wake-up call they needed to get the sense of urgency back in the ballgame. That was all she wrote for the CLS Knights after that one.
Kami ucapkan terima kasih buat seluruh penonton Surabaya.
Arena on Wednesday.
Ini adalah
Winner take all. An opportunity to rise to greatness here in season number 9.
Alright guys, here we are at the end of the game. Congratulations for the BTN CLS Knights. And we are going to interview 2 of the key members of the BTN CLS Knights. One of them is the player of the game. It's Daryl Mook, the Giant Watkins. 28 points with 16 rebounds. What is motivating you into this game? What is the motivation for you in this game, Daryl? And I also noticed that you have a stare down with John Fields. Can you tell us a little bit about the stare down, man?
It's one of those games, like I wanted to bring myself in the last game. I felt like I didn't play well, and that contributed to us losing, so this is a me and John Fields battle.
Yeah, but really they need to make sure that you will have the top performance in the next game, the last game, for you to win, alright? Alright, next to the coach. Coach, congratulations, coach, for the victory for this 4th game. So, Coach, can you tell us what is the main difference between the 3rd game and the 4th game here?
Well, we played with a lot more energy. We finished our shots. We made our inside shots tonight. We shot a higher percentage, and you see Watkins was a big difference tonight for us. And we got them in foul trouble. That was also important.
Tonight is a physical game, and I noticed that you guys play more aggressive in this game. Is that the mindset that you tell your players in the quarter?
Yes, because we have nothing to lose, and I told them we got to be aggressive. If we have to lose, let's be aggressive losing. So we played tonight. We can carry it into game.
Maybe lastly, you can say thank you to our fans who support
us. To Rimakasi, to all the fans, great fans here. So Satalagi.
One more, guys. Thank you very much, Coach. Congratulations. Hope you will win the final game.
Thank you.
All right, guys. One thing for sure, they both make me feel so little. Back to you guys.